It's Alysa Coase, bringing you Jits and Giggles podcast. Joslyn Molina. Welcome to Jits and Giggles. All right, so we'll start with, if people don't know you, which I feel like everybody's starting to get to know you very well. So you're 13 years old, right?
Yes, I am.
Insane. You're so young. You've literally been winning everything, ADCCs. I mean, you just won WNO. You've won pretty much everything you've done in the past couple years. How has it been just like going from kind of like a kid to all of a sudden this like big name competitor?
It's been great. I think I've always really been pushing for this, ever since I was like more a smaller kid. I can't say like I still am a kid, but it's really great being able to see everything like unfold and me go throughout like my journey.
Yeah. So like, let's start at the very, very beginning. Like, what was your first experience with jiu-jitsu? Was it your parents? Like, who decided to get you into jiu-jitsu? Was it yourself?
It was my parents. I was a very energetic kid.
Okay.
And so I was doing like ballet, karate, gymnastics.
Oh, wow, a lot.
I sucked at all of them, if I'm being honest.
Really?
But, yeah. I am not like coordinated at all, which is pretty surprising.
Yeah, that is surprising.
So sucked at gymnastics. And I guess I just like found jiu-jitsu like walking by one time, tried it out, and I fell in love with it.
Really?
Just did ever since then.
You like walked by a jiu-jitsu gym and you just like mentioned to your parents like, hey, that sounds cool, let's try it out? Is that kind of how it went?
My dad was like walking by and like he saw this dude in a gi.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, you do karate?
Yeah. He's like, how dare
just
you?
the question every jiu-jitsu person gets, karate?
Yes.
But no, it actually ended up being jiu-jitsu. And he's like, all right. And he chucked me in a class one time and I just...
You loved it?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 5 years old, like turning 6.
Wow. So you started very, very young, which makes a lot more sense. So you started jiu-jitsu, and it sounds like you had tried a lot of different sports, but this one was the one that just kind of clicked with you. Mm-hmm. Cool. So you started doing it. Was there a point where you or your parents or somebody were like, hey, I'm getting pretty good at this. Maybe I should like turn this into like almost like a career?
I was always like a really fast learner, and I was like, I had at least some sort of like a good athletics like stance to every single sport.
Yeah.
But it is that jiu-jitsu particularly, I was like super good at being able to catch on and make my own like decisions and just really good like jiu-jitsu rules, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
it just kind of came to you naturally, it sounds like.
It was like supernatural, and I've always been kind of good at it.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Like, you were naturally good at it, so why not just take it as far as you can take it? Yeah. At this point, were you doing gi and no gi?
Yeah, actually, I started off doing more gi than I did no gi.
Really?
I used to love gi.
Oh, so did you start transitioning more towards no gi because of opportunities?
No, I just started hating gi.
Okay, same. But why did you start hating gi?
It's so boring.
And hot.
Yeah, what's the point of wearing like a 5-pound like vest?
I feel you. I really do. And I get it. Like, there's a lot of people, including my friends, who love gi, and I do get it. Like, there's more you can do with like the grips and whatever, the lapel and stuff. But I hate people hanging on to me. I just can't stand it.
I find it to be really slow. And slow doesn't mean that like it's bad. It just means it's a lot more technical. Yeah. In the stance of not like you have to think a lot more, and you have to really plan out everything you do. True. Way more like particularly. While in no-gi, you're just like, the goal is to just keep moving.
Yes.
Just go.
Higher pace, way more fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Easier to market, which is why I feel like there's a lot more opportunities for no-gi as well. But you're right, it can be a lot more technical. Like, you know, you can like slam a knee slice in no-gi, you do that in gi.
You're gonna get like leg locked somehow.
Yeah. Or they're just holding on to you and you're like, can you let go of me? So I get that. Do you train gi at all anymore?
I really don't train gi that much. Surprisingly, I go to like a mainly gi gym though.
That is fun.
I'm like trying to convert them to no gi. I've just been like showing up in no gi on gi days, like, hey.
I do that too. My coach is like, really, you forgot again? I'm like, yes, I'm forgetting every single time, actually, on purpose. It's like in my car. Yeah. Do you think you'll ever compete in gi again?
Yeah, I actually competed in gi in Greece like last week.
Oh, that's what Jay was talking about.
I did both gi and no gi.
Very cool.
I was planning just to do no gi, but I got thrown into the gi division.
Nice.
And I got double gold, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Did you after taking double gold, do you have a little bit of an itch to do any more gi or not really?
Honestly, throwing kids felt really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Throwing kids?
Throwing kids felt amazing. And, like, I forgot what that felt like, but...
So that was a kids division?
Yeah, since it was the UWW, they had a lot more restrictions on if you were allowed to compete in higher divisions, like if you were allowed to compete in higher weight classes.
Right.
And so I was, like, restricted from doing a lot of things, and I just ended up doing Youth 15.
Gotcha. See, that I was thinking that while I was waiting for you guys. I'm like, you're at this like in between stage, right? Where you're like, you're still a teenager. I mean, you're literally still a child, but you're as good as the adults. And it looks like you're bouncing back and forth. You're competing with kids and you're competing with adults. What's the main difference you're noticing competing with kids versus adults?
Honestly, competing with kids for the position that I am in, I find is harder.
Really?
Not only because kids have a lot more stamina.
Makes sense.
Sometimes they're... Okay, so it's like a 50-50. Sometimes they're so spazzy to the point you don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
And they're just unpredictable. And sometimes they can hit a move that is so stupid it works.
That is fair. That makes a lot of sense. Yep.
And then there's the other side that on like this, not like on the slight chance that I do mess up and I do lose to them.
I like that you're like, on the very rare chance.
I tried to
No, you're so right. It's just so funny because I'm like, you're so right.
On the chance that I do lose,
Yeah.
it's gonna be such more of like a bigger like thing because I have fought all these adults and I have gone out to like the biggest of the biggest so far of what I've done competitions, that if I lose to like another kid my age, that's gonna be a much more bigger thing. At least to me, it is.
Yeah, that's actually interesting because I was thinking as an outsider, it would be the opposite. Like I would think losing against an adult would be a bigger deal. Like going against an adult at trials, in my mind, would be like more stress, more pressure than like winning against a child. But for you, you feel the opposite. You're more stressed going against
Both of
a child.
them suck.
Well, yeah.
Both of them suck.
Fair.
But with a kid, like if you lose to a kid, you know that like I've done so many like more things personally and that I know I could have done better fighting these like this kid, and I know I made a mistake. And so it's a lot more like heavy if when I lose to a kid.
Yeah. So what about with an adult? Like if you were hypothetically to lose, are you kind of like it's less pressure because you're like, oh well, they're a lot older than like.
It's still a lot of pressure, but it's definitely less than if I were to lose to a kid.
Yeah.
Because to an adult, to me, I know that I can do it.
Yes.
And that's the difference that comes in. Like I can win against an adult, and if I don't, it's like, all right, well, I just like sucked that entire match. Like I could have won that, but I didn't. It's okay. I was like, I'm gonna keep fighting adults though. So
yeah, I mean that makes me feel better because I also am harder on myself when I lose to a child. So I feel you. Do you also feel like kids are more flexible?
oh yeah,
Because I imagine
crazy.
that is a big problem. Like you're going for an Americano or something on an adult. I'm going to tap early. Kids don't
go all
care.
the way to the sky.
Yeah. So is your technique, like when you're going into a competition against a child versus an adult, are you going in with a completely different game plan?
Yes, actually, I find that women and like kids, at least girls, have a lot more flexibility than like men. And so when I'm going against like younger people, I go for a lot more like chokes, I guess, or things that like you have to tap to.
Yeah.
Or if I am going to do an armbar, I go like shotgun to where it's like you're going to break it.
Yes.
But I loved you said the flexibility thing.
Yeah.
If like unless they watch the YouTube thing, they're not going to see this. But I have like really good hip flexibility too.
Oh, I will clip this. Don't you worry.
And like
crap.
that's sitting down at a really bad angle too. So if I like sit up,
Yeah.
I have really good
the
like
heck?
leg hip flexibility.
Wow. And I wonder, like, now that you're doing that at a young age, it might stick with you though as you age. You know what I mean? It's like muscle memory kind of thing. So is that playing to an advantage when you're out there?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not a butt scooter, but
We know.
I do have a surprisingly good guard.
Wow.
When it comes to it, if I do need to like retreat to playing guard, it's not a bad guard.
Yeah. Is there like at what point are you pulling guard? Is there ever a point where you're like, I have to sit?
Unless I get taken down.
Or they have to
if I
sit
get
you down.
swept. Yeah.
You're like, I'm sitting if they put me there.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I get swept or if like something happens and I end up on my butt.
Gotcha. So where does your wrestling background come from? Like, were you wrestling before jiu-jitsu?
No, I learned it through jiu-jitsu.
Wow. And that's, as you know, I'm sure is rare because like normally us jiu-jitsu people suck at wrestling when we learn it through jiu-jitsu versus wrestling. So you learned it at a jiu-jitsu gym?
Yep. I like I said, I never really did guard pooling. Yeah. And so I just had to find different ways to take them down and get them down, like using like wrestling, but like jiu-jitsu wrestling. Because I find that like regular wrestling has a lot more like disadvantages or like a lot more consequences.
Yes, like getting guillotined.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So you're 100% standing unless someone puts you on your ass. I like it. Okay, so we have trials coming up next weekend. You're up here in New Jersey training, getting prepared. I was going to ask Jay, but I'm sure you know the answer. How does this work? Because isn't it 15 and up technically?
So I've made history. I have gotten them to change the rules for the youngest athlete like ever to be 13. So now all 13-year-olds, if y'all want to do that, like trials, go ahead and do it.
That is so cool. So was WNO the deciding factor? What caused them to change it? You just asked, like, how did that happen?
I think WNO definitely played a huge influence because I did get to go out there on one of the more bigger platforms. Mm-hmm. But I've been fighting adults since I was 10.
Oh my God. So let me ask you, like, since you have been fighting adults since you were 10, which, like, nobody should have an ego problem. Like, you're freaking amazing. Like, you're lethal. But have you ever ran into where ego comes into play?
Yeah, I've had multiple grown women pull out of divisions or, like, refuse to fight me because I'm, like, too young or they just don't want to fight a kid. Like, my first ever adults division, I think it was a new breed. I was 10 years old. It was a blue belts division. Mm-hmm. I was so nervous. I wasn't even supposed to fight that day.
Yeah.
And I just got chucked into this division. I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And this like one woman refused to fight me because she knew that if she lost, she wouldn't be able to deal with herself and deal with her anger, and she didn't want to lash out on a kid.
That's what she said?
That was her main excuse. She didn't want to lash out on a kid if she lost.
Okay, so that's crazy. Yeah, because it's like, okay, half of us or half my brain can say like, okay, I guess it's nice for her to know her limits.
That is a reasonable way, but still.
Like you can't control yourself.
Yeah,
like I don't like, you know what I mean? Like
you lash out at people.
Yeah, like I just feel like just don't do that.
Yeah,
is what I would say. But I guess good that she didn't want to lash out on a child.
Yeah, at least she took like the precautions to. Know like herself and what she would do if she did lose.
But also that makes me wonder, like, she was going into it with a mindset that there was like a high probability she could lose, it sounds like.
Yeah, also I was not supposed to be in that division.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, that's game. Like, you sign up, you want to go against the best, you're going to go against the best. Now, how about just in the training room? Have you ever just like subbed an adult man or woman and they're just like get really butthurt about it?
I have felt like, when like the atmosphere changes.
Oh yeah.
And it's not that way just with adults. It's also that way with like some more like older teenagers.
That makes sense.
Where like I've been like cross training and like you get a submission and like you just feel like the whole entire body language change. And I'm like wait.
Sorry, I'm so good. Do you just kind of ignore it? And like...
Sometimes I try to ignore it, but like other times I'll say, hey, go sit down. I'm not gonna roll with you if you're like this.
Wow, good for you. I like that you have that assertiveness about you because I'm sure that's hard at 13.
That's like if I don't really like them, but like if I do,
like, respect them.
Yeah, but like if I do, then I would match their pace and I'd be like, all right, let's do this. Yeah. There's two very different outcomes. It just depends on how I feel. Sometimes if I'm tired or if I'm like, if I don't want to deal with it, I'm like, you're done.
Yeah.
But
good for you.
If I'm like, I'm into it, I want to be there, I want to fight, I'll just like match their pace and I'll just try to kill each other.
Yeah. So now, is that something you've learned to be assertive about just through trial and error, or have you had any like mentors that have kind of taught you how to deal with the emotional side of jiu-jitsu?
I think it was definitely more trial and error because surprisingly, with a lot of my mentors in the past, like I love all of them, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But it was a very difficult line, I want to say, for them because I was one of the younger ones, but I was always being treated like I was one of the oldest ones. Yes. And so I would always have like the responsibility, or I would always get like pointed out or picked out and be like, you are responsible for this like group, even though I was like one of the more younger ones and I was fighting people older than me. So if they got hurt, most of the time it was probably on me, or if we went out of balance, it was probably on me. Right. And so that was really like stressful like as a kid, but it's honestly helped a lot because now I have that situational awareness while I'm rolling. I like know not to do certain things, and I like know when to do it, know when to not to do it. Like I'll be rolling and I'm like looking around, trying to be like, all right, they're there, they're here, we're here, all right, we're okay.
Oh, like
and so
literally, that makes sense.
like literally try to keep both of us safe while they're both trying to kill each other.
Yeah, that's like a technique in itself, you know, or like a skill set in itself. I feel like, wow, that is really cool. So, are you now at the same gym that you started at?
No, I ended up switching gyms to check my Olympus. That's my main gym.
Okay.
And they're amazing people. But I cross train all the time.
I assume, yeah.
I haven't been home in 20 days, but I haven't been to my gym in like
God,
a month.
20 days?
Yeah.
Because you're here now in New Jersey. Where'd you come from? Oh, you were in Greece.
Yes, I was in Greece, but in like a week before that, I was in New Jersey again. So I was home for like maybe 4 days and then went to Greece, stayed there for like a week or two, and then just came to New Jersey.
Oh my God.
And then I'm going to trials, so I'm not even going home after this.
Are your parents meeting up with you at places?
Yes, my parents are meeting up with me at trials.
Oh, that'll be really cool. So now, are you homeschooled?
Yes, I just recently homeschooled, not even like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so I'm assuming you started taking off in your career, and then was this like a conversation your parents were like, it's not possible for you to go to school if you're going to be traveling the world like every day?
Yeah, I was always missing a lot of school though, and so I like made really good friends with like all my teachers because since I was like in the sport, I needed to learn how to talk to adults and like how to be able to hold conversations and like have a certain level of maturity. I like ended up talking with most of them, and like I have like most of their numbers now, and I randomly call them and just like send them. I sent one a picture for like my broken toe.
Oh, that's so cool. They must think you're like the coolest student they've ever had.
They're all super nice. They were definitely a good support system and really affected the way I grew like as a kid when I was there. Yeah. But I forgot the question.
No, it was about no, you're correct. You're on track. We were talking about being homeschooled. So what grade are you in right now?
I'm in 8th grade.
You're in 8th grade. So you just got pulled out of 8th grade like recently.
Yes, yeah.
And I assume you wanted that, but anything you're like worried about missing out on or don't care?
I definitely looked at the aspect of I was gonna be like missing out on a lot of social play things with like friends and stuff. But then I also started looking at the side that like I'm getting to do things that most adults don't even get to do in their life. Like I've been to Greece, I've like traveled across the world, I've been to Puerto Rico, I've been to a lot of places, and now I'm gonna get even bigger chances like Canada or like hopefully Brazil.
And you've won on some of the biggest stages. I mean, how cool. And I mean, just speaking to you, like you just said, you have this different level of maturity. You really do speak like an adult, and it makes sense because like you said, you're constantly training with adults and competing with adults. Are you finding balance and still having some downtime, hanging with friends? Are you able to do that still?
Yeah, actually, the competition in Greece, I feel like that was an amazing opportunity to be a kid, since I was fighting other kids, and it was an international competition. It was amazing. I made so many friends with different people.
Cool.
Like I made friends with Kazakhstanians, with like Russians, with Ukrainians, with Armenians, and like Spaniards. So cool. They were all so nice.
That is so cool. I mean, yeah, what a freaking opportunity, and it's really cool that your parents are on board. Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have 2 older siblings. Okay. 18 and 19.
Okay. Are they involved in any sports or jiu-jitsu?
They used to do jiu-jitsu, and then one stopped doing it completely, and then the other one did football and wrestling. Okay. But now they don't really do any sports like that.
So this is like new for your family. Like you're the first person to be doing something at such a high level. I imagine your parents are learning on the go like you are, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any, I mean, it sounds like Jay's kind of helping you. Do you have various people kind of guiding you through this process?
I've met a lot of amazing people along the way. We were actually just talking about her on the way to the gym, or to the house, to the podcast.
To here?
Here. Oh. Yeah, to here. And
I have mats in the back.
It's a gym. It's a gym. Her name's Brittany Way, and then her husband Tony Way. They're both amazing people. She was actually one of the people who I started training with, and she really leveled up my game to like a whole entire different just like level and just like mindset.
Oh, that's very cool. And how did you meet them?
I cross-trained one day, and surprisingly, one of the girls that trained there, I was supposed to fight soon, and I had no idea I was supposed to fight her, and I was rolling with her, and Brittany was like, I think she's fighting that girl.
You're like, anyway.
You're like, my bad. And then the girl ended up pulling out the fight. But ever since then, I just became like her training partner. She's a black belt and she's been training for like almost all her life. Yeah. And there's a lot of amazing people and amazing gyms along the way.
Very cool. Let me ask you, so like obviously you have amazing work ethic and some natural talents as well, but what do you think has allowed you to excel so much quicker than other kids your age?
I think really staying focused, because a lot of kids like my age, I've had this lecture by many people. Mm-hmm. A lot of kids get distracted with like going out and like partying or having fun or sneaking out or like having a boyfriend or girlfriend and doing all that stuff. And I was just like, that's just never really been for me. I've always just like stayed focused. And yeah, there are like some moments where like I would like play around, but I've always been taught, like when I was in the gym, like as a kid, I was really never able to play around. Yeah. Because I always either had to set up an example in the kids class, and so I couldn't really like mess around like that. And then when I went to the adults class, if I were to play around, then I wouldn't be taken seriously, and then they wouldn't roll with me and I wouldn't train.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, honestly, you just kind of have the personality and the champion mindset. Yeah. So I want to switch over to WNO again real quick. So Amy Gran is who you went against, correct? So you subbed her in under 4 minutes. She's 25 years older than you. I mean, what was that like? How much? I mean, I know you said like kids can be a little bit more intimidating, but like when you were told that you were going to go against someone 25 years older than you, did that matter to you? Like, what was your thought process?
Honestly, I didn't really care how much she was older than me. When you go out there on a mat, you're just fighting another human being. I fought girls older than me, fought women who were like 250 pounds. I fought like, wow. I fought everyone, and as long as you like get out there on the mat, that's really all that matters. So it's not a fact of like they're a black belt or they're a brown belt or they're heavier than me or they're older than me. Just go out there and fight. I don't get like why people are like, I'm not gonna fight you because of this and that.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to just look at it as like, this is what I have to do today, and nothing else honestly matters. But that was the biggest stage you had been on, is that correct?
Yes, that was the biggest stage I've been on so far.
Yeah, so what was like your game plan as far as like nerves? Do you get nervous when you compete?
Oh, I get so nervous.
Okay, you're making me feel better. Thank you.
I get petrified.
Okay.
My way of being nervous, like how it shows, is that I get really social.
Oh, okay.
And I get that way in hospitals too. I like start talking to everyone and I start like yapping, and I really turn into a 13-year-old at that time. Yeah. When I get nervous, I start like, it's a way for me to like manage my nerves and stay focused on really just trying to keep going and not like get hyper focused on the fact that I'm going out on the stage in like 5 minutes.
I relate to that. I'm the same way. I'm also a yapper, but some people, as you know, are like the complete opposite. They want to like be isolated, alone, headphones in. That is not for me. That's like the worst thing I could do. Yeah. I also agree with you. Talking and getting your mind off of it and just acting like it's a regular day is a lot easier. Do you prefer hard warm up, not hard warm up right before?
It really just depends on how nervous I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm like super nervous, I'll probably like be in the back trying to like kill this one person I'm rolling with. Like like whoever I'm rolling with will just be like messing around, going fast, boom, 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 and like rolling. But like if I'm like a little less nervous, I might do a little less. It really just depends on how I'm feeling in the moment.
So no music?
Not a lot of music, no.
Me neither. I'm not into it. It works for some people, but I'm like, again, I want to be more present actually. So when you went out there, what was your game plan with her? Anything specific?
The main game plan for Who's Number One specifically was to try to submit as fast as I can and be flashy. Okay. So, because like since it's a bigger platform, you don't want to go out there and like have a boring match and like either end it in a draw or like end it with 2 points or like win by decision. For like the more bigger ones, I feel like it would matter a lot more for like how they see me if I go out there and I get it done and I do like a flashy, like a Rotellotine or something. Right. And I go out there and, just get it done.
So that's what you did.
I would add like a more like better view to like, oh, okay, so she really like can fight. And she really can hang out with the adults and with the more bigger stars. Yeah,
and you make a great point. Like the way jiu-jitsu is going right now, I'm sure you will agree, it's not just about winning anymore. In fact, it's like not really about winning at all. It's about putting on an amazing show. Like you could go out there and technically lose, but if you do something really cool,
they'll bring you back.
Yeah, or if you have a really dominant match, you're getting another call. So is your game plan changing when it's something that's qualifying you? So something like ADCC trials, for instance, is the focus heavier on just winning because it's qualifying rather than being flashy?
Yeah, definitely just winning. Since I am fighting in the plus 65, since there like isn't a lot of like wide range for the weight classes in women's,
right?
I'm fighting a lot of heavier people, so I'm not going to be so focused on throwing on a great show. I'm going to be focused more like strategical winning and like pacing and more like, okay, I do this person for that. I might not always find a submission, but if I can like do a guard pass, or if I can get to mount and I can like play it out and just like ride the timeout while like still staying active, that would be the way to go for different matches.
That makes sense. And this weight class, isn't this a little heavier for you, right?
I'm gonna be one of the smaller girls in my weight.
And what was the decision? Was it just because of your age? You don't want to worry about having a cut. That was the decision?
That was the decision. Since I am like 13 years old, there's no like reason for me to be cutting like 6 kilos, because I usually fight at like minus 70, but I kind of walk around at like 71, maybe 72. And so it just, we figured that 6 would be a lot to cut, and there's no reason, since I've been fighting heavier girls for like quite some time now in the absolutes, we might as well just fight up.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And you were saying earlier you're not a guard puller. I mean, you can be, but you prefer to wrestle. So how do you feel about standing with some of these, not just heavier, but stronger, full-grown women?
Honestly, what you'll see a lot of the time is that they tire themselves out, or they get tired a lot faster. So like if you look at the minus 65 division, all of them are little monsters. They try to kill you. Yeah. And they don't get tired, and they keep on moving for 6 minutes. But in the more bigger division, you'll see that like after maybe 3 minutes of standing up on the feet, they're like they start slowing down. They start getting more tired. They start like less strategical moves and more just moving to move and trying to stay alive.
Right. So your cardio, your endurance, you feel like is going to set you apart for this weight class.
Most definitely. I mean, and I have more cardio to the fact that I'm still a kid and that they're an adult, and they have to carry a lot more muscle to keep themselves moving, and they're also an adult who has a job and lived a life. So they've done some things.
So I mean, really, like what you're saying is like their advantages are also their disadvantages in a way. What are you doing besides being a child for cardio and endurance? Do you have outside of jiu-jitsu some type of a plan? I
actually don't like really work out at all.
Okay.
It's really surprising.
Just naturally.
Nah, I just go 100% at PE, bro.
Yeah. Well, I would say I'm sure the best way to get in shape is to just keep doing jiu-jitsu, right? That's plenty of cardio and endurance right there. So very cool. Okay. So Baby Shark is your nickname. Who came up with that?
My first coach. I was 5 years old.
5 years old?
I was 5 or 6.
And how did that come about?
So,
wait, let me... She has to put the Starbucks down.
Yeah, the Starbucks, the vanilla bean with the extra pump of caramel.
I'm nervous. Okay, good.
It's not a bad story. It's just like a story that I've been telling.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So like as a kid, I was super competitive. Like I said, I did like 4 different sports.
Yeah.
I just like I wanted to win everything, and whenever I would lose to like yellow belts, because like I was a white belt, I would get like blood filled, like just like I would just go at you.
Yeah.
And so you would submit me, and I would be so much emotions that I didn't know how to regulate, because like I was a kid, I would start crying, but they would, and like, you know, when you're going against someone, you're crying, even when you're a kid, you like start slowing down and you're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And the problem was I wasn't crying because I was sad. I was crying because I was mad.
Right.
And so would shake hands, and I'd go at them like a shark, apparently. And I'd be trying to kill them, and I'd be going. And that's where I got the name Baby Shark, because I was still really little, and I would just try to kill you like a shark.
I like it. Do you like it, or are you thinking of a rebrand, or are you gonna stick with it?
Might be thinking of a rebrand soon.
Okay, I respect it. I respect it. So with trials coming up, and honestly, just all these opportunities coming up, what's your like typical week of training looking like right now?
Really just training like 7 days, all week.
All week, 7 days a week.
7 days a week. We are thinking there might be a move to Texas soon, or like there are ideas of it being thrown about. And with the weeks that I have stayed in Texas, I train like 3 times a day.
Wow.
So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So if I do go to Texas, that would probably be what my training schedule would look like. But right now, I wake up, I do homeschooling now, so do some schoolwork, and then I just go train.
Wow. And I assume you're talking about with Danaher. That's where you would be moving to?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. Okay, so we kind of talked about this, but what is the secret to not being scared of adults? So I know you said you get a little bit more scared of 13-year-olds, but is there anything you tell yourself when you're walking out there to just kind of pump yourself up?
I tell myself that we're just here to do jiu-jitsu. We're just here to go out on the mats and fight. And I have a really weird mindset when it comes to that. I'm just not thinking of this. I tell myself I might lose. Like, I might go out there and the chances of me losing might be a little higher than the chances of me winning.
And that motivates you?
That adds a layer of, like, comfort almost. Because that doesn't... Most of the time when people tell that themselves, they'll go out there and they won't perform as good as they want to. I'll go out there and I'll still perform the exact way I want to. It just takes down some of the nerves of me, okay, I'm actually, like, fighting another adult right now. Like, I fought Jen Case, and when I went out there, I was like, okay, I might lose.
Yeah.
But I went out there and I fought my hardest, and I almost won. I lost by 1 point.
It was so close.
1 point.
It really was so close.
So my dad hates it too. He hates it. Every single time I say, he'd be like, stop. Like, I get a full-on lecture every single time I say, I might lose. You never know.
Yeah, you're just being, like, realistic almost.
Yeah.
Like, you're giving yourself, like, this is reality.
Yep, I don't like being, I'm going to win, I'm going to do this, because if I lose, that's going to be a much more, like, harder fall to get over.
Yes.
Than, okay, there are chances of me losing. I don't want to. I'm not going to, like, I'm going to try my best to not let it happen. But there is still that very real possibility.
Yeah, and in that specific example you gave, I mean, she's intimidating to full-grown women. Like, you really have nerves of steel. I mean, that must have been quite
terrifying.
Quite frightening. And yet you went out there and you're right. It was a close, very, very close match. Wow, that's very cool. So if you do lose on the very rare occasion, do you like to watch your loss immediately? Do you give yourself time? How do you handle it?
I almost immediately know what I did wrong.
Okay.
And I hate watching myself roll, so I don't really go back and, like, look at the match. I just know internally what I did.
Okay.
I get very disappointed within myself because I know, like, I could have done this. Like,
right.
If I would have won, I could have gone first, or I could have been the first, like, the youngest absolute champ. I could have done this. I should have done that.
Right.
And so I'll, like, take laps around, because I don't think I really ever, like, learned to, like, regulate that by, like, other people. And it was really just something, like, I kind of learned myself. My parents absolutely, like, wanted me to talk to them, and I have the greatest parents, and they were like, it was always an option to talk to them. But I just have, like, this inner incapability to actually talk to people, and I don't know why. And so I'll just, like, go walking around. Usually I just do a couple laps. A really helpful way, I'll find empty water bottles, or, like, halfway empty water bottles that people aren't using, and I'll just chuck them in the trash can as hard as I can, because I'm helping out. If you think about it, It's really helpful. Okay. But it's also really, like anger releasing too. And then
healthier than, like, punching somebody.
Yeah, so. I did that once.
Oh God.
I did that once.
So if I ever see you chucking water bottles, I probably won't approach you at that moment.
Yeah. Or no, you could approach me, because and what's so, like, confusing for me sometimes is that I'll be, like, so mad, and I'll be trying to calm down because I hate being disrespectful, and ow, my toe. Sorry. Okay. No, I hit my toe. I'll, like, never be disrespectful to, like, somebody's face.
Yeah.
And I'll be as sweet as I can possibly be. And it's like, okay, I need a couple of seconds. I'm gonna go walk around. I'll be right back. And on my on my trips, I'll have, like, these little kids walk up to me and ask for pictures, and, like, I'm on, like, the verge of tears, and I'm like, yeah, well, how was your time? Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you. And, like, I'll go, like, keep on walking and
kind of keeping inside.
Yeah.
How long does it usually take for you to, like, bounce back?
The longest I've been mad was for like 3 months.
That's really
the longest
long.
I've been mad.
That's a very long time.
Yeah, but I did get my redemption.
There you go. So it motivates you.
Yeah.
Lights a little fire under you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not the worst thing in the world, right? It's so funny. All right, so a little bit of rapid fire, I guess you could call it. Do you believe washing, I know you don't really do gi anymore, but do you believe washing your gi belt gets rid of all of your progress?
No, I do believe that if your gi belt's dirty, that like kind of shows to like, okay, you've been doing this for a while, or like not dirty, but like
worn.
scruffed up.
Yeah.
Like different patches, like, you know, like scratches in there, or like it's falling apart. Yeah. But just wash it. It's dirty.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of disgusting. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but if you're rolling with someone and they're like very spazzy or you feel you're going to get injured, do you tell them right away? How do you handle it?
Honestly, it depends. If it's, okay, this might sound really like rude, but if it's like a spazzy like young man, or if like a spazzy like teenage boy, I love messing with them. And I love just like breaking their egos. And it sounds so mean.
No, it sounds amazing.
But like I'll love like either like sitting on mount and like just pinning them down and like just looking at them and be like, in my mind it's like, calm down, you don't have to try to kill me.
Time out, essentially.
Yeah, calm down. But like if it's like a more spazzy adult and like I'm a little more cautious because they could potentially really hurt me, I might just pull guard. I don't care at that point, and I'll just like hold them in guard and I'll just mess with them and I'll just like sit there and I won't really move because like if you're spazzy and you want to keep going, I'm just gonna make you stay still.
Yeah. So you do it in almost like a non-verbal way. You just kind of teach them the hard way. Yeah. When I had Amanda Levy on, we talked about this because similarly to you, you know, she was fighting grown adults when she was a child, so she dealt with this ego pool and the same thing we were talking about earlier. So you guys have that similarity where at a very young age you had to learn how to not only roll with adults but how to like communicate with them and work through their egos, you know. Okay, so if you're rolling with upper versus lower belts, do you feel like one is more helpful than the other to get better? Do you feel like they're all useful to help you gain your skill set?
I feel like rolling with lower belts is definitely something like you should take at least one day to do, because you can use everything you've been trying to learn. Like if you were learning like a new set of skills, or like, for example, a new style of guard passing, or like a new style of wrestling, if you continuously try to do that with people who are good, it's almost going to break your confidence in it, and you're just going to like disregard the fact, like what you're trying to do entirely. And you'll be like, okay, I can't do this. This doesn't work. I'm not getting practice in it. I'm not going to go do it, hit it in competition. But if you take at least one day to go with like people who are like some like lower belts and restrict yourself to only trying to hit that move, or in like staying either defensive and only being offensive when it comes to like your one goal, I feel like that definitely helps bring confidence and like definitely like boost up your ability to do the things.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's like everybody kind of has a purpose. Like I think lower belts have a purpose, upper belts, some people, like there was an interview recently that somebody posted about where he's a very high level competitor, and he basically said like rolling with anybody who's not a high level competitor is a waste of time. And to each their own, but it sounds like you would disagree.
Yeah, I think that's really stupid, because at one point you weren't a high level competitor.
Yeah.
So what if you are trying to get good and you are trying to learn and you are truly trying to like immerse yourself as much as you can in the sport, and there are people with big heads like refusing to roll with you just because you haven't been doing it as long as them.
Yeah.
Like we all started at one point. I sucked. We all sucked at it. There's no reason why you should be like, I'm not gonna roll with you. If you're training for a big like competition and you are training for a camp, that's a more reasonable like excuse. But if you just refuse to roll with lower belts entirely just because of the sole fact that they're a lower belt, that's just like disrespectful. That's still a human being.
I agree with you. And I think the other point they were making is that it's just not helpful to them. But I think what you're saying is like, it doesn't always have to be about you, you know, like as jiu-jitsu community, we help each other.
It's a community, and you should be trying to raise others with you, even if you are already raised all the way to like where you can be. You keep trying to bring other people with you. You're not trying to keep other people down. There's no point in that. And if you are, you're not in like a healthy community.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know what? You're wise beyond your years. Okay, so hypothetically, this might have happened to you. You have 100-pound weight difference. You're still wrestling or are you pulling?
Wrestling.
Yeah.
If you pull and that lady lays on you, that's gonna be so much worse.
You're right.
The thing with wrestling, you can always disconnect.
It's true.
If you are on your butt and this girl decides to splat you, you are done.
You are done.
You are done. When I was going with Jen Case, she like it wasn't like 100-pound difference, but like it was still a pretty big difference.
Oh yeah.
And at like one point she was in mount.
Yeah.
And I fought for my life, and I escaped. Yeah. And then did. I think we got in a guard, and I think I ended up somehow getting on top when she was on turtle, and you can literally see me standing on her back trying to get my hooks in because it was 2-3. I was losing by 1 point, and I almost won.
I know. It's all right. You'll get that back, or at least you get.
I want to fight her and Paige Yvette again.
Well, that might be happening next week, so for one of them, so that'll be very cool. Okay, so if you had the opportunity, or I should say, if you could only train 3 competition classes a week, like very high intense competition classes, or 6 like mediocre intensity classes a week, which would you choose?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Wait, let me put my drink back down.
Really getting the thought juices going.
Probably like 6 mediocre ones.
Yeah.
Because after training like 3 high intensity ones, you might not be able to try to like kill yourself for 3 days straight. A lot of the times that you like space out the times that like you go really hard, and then the other times you have like more skillful days. I feel like with the more mediocre days, you would have a lot more opportunity to work on skill, while it also not being so easy to the point where it's just boring. Right. It's like it's mediocre, so it's not too bad, but it's also like not the greatest. Yeah.
What if it was spaced out? What if it was not 3 in a row? What if it was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Does that change it?
I don't know, because like you're still not working a lot of technique. You're just going out there to fight for your life.
Yes. So you're still going with the 6?
I think I'm going with the 6 mediocre ones.
Okay. And you brought up a good point. Or do you do more technique drilling, or are you like, I don't need to drill at this point?
I do a mix of every single type of like rolling. So I do some days, like some gyms I go to do a lot more like eco approach, and then other gyms do a lot more like is it basic? No, not
drilling.
Standard.
Like,
standard.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah,
I would say so.
like standard drilling. Like you drill, then you work on some moves, and then you roll, and then you do this.
Yeah. Do you feel like one is allowing your jiu-jitsu to get better than the other, or do you feel like a combination of everything is what's ideal?
I feel like why exclude yourself to one only, like in particular, when you can get like a wide variety of all of them.
Yeah.
And if you get like all of them, you're just getting different looks and different training aspects, and that can only boost your like game itself. If you seclude yourself to one, then think about the whole entire other aspect that you were entirely missing out on.
Right. No, I agree 100%. When that whole argument was like at its peak with, the whole eco thing, I think that is the correct answer if we had to say there was an answer, which is like, why would you not just do as many different types of training as you possibly can, right? Yeah. And with cross training, I'm sure that you're exposed to all types of training, which my next question is, for people who are not allowed to cross train, what do you think about that?
I think it's really stupid. I think it's such an old mindset to have. And I think they're just stubborn people who want everything their way. Yeah. And everything's not going to go your way. I was watching like, I think UFC Fight Fast one time, or like, yeah, it was something with UFC. And this one girl had said she switched teams, and she had said, it is the athlete's responsibility to be selfish, and the coaches to be like selfless. Yeah. Like as a coach, yeah, you care about your student, and like you care about what they want, like their needs, and you want them to be your student. But if they have needs that like you can't meet, or if they have needs that like they need to find at other places, you might as well just like go let them cross train, instead of completely being like, okay, I don't want to deal with you and just leave you entirely.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good way of putting it. You have to be selfish as the athlete, and the coach's job is to be selfless. And sometimes we see, unfortunately, a role reversal with that, right? Okay, so you've competed in all different rule sets and all different competitions. What is your favorite? Okay.
ADCC.
Jay's back there with a knife. No, I figured that would be your answer. Tell us why.
Okay. I feel like IBJJF, you get a lot of points easier, but I hate how fast the time is.
Yeah.
And how, like, even in the kids, it's like a 4-minute thing. It's like a 4 or 5 minute thing. 4. And I just don't like how easy you can get points.
Yeah.
The most recent one I did was UWW. I did not like that. I had no idea what the rules were. The only thing I was told was to go out there and submit.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that's not a bad thing to say.
I was getting points when I didn't even do anything. So those were really confusing. I don't think I liked them. EBI. I lost a match in EBI, and I never forgave it for that.
What did you lose by EBI overtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
EBI overtime.
Okay. Yeah, it is tough, and that stinks too, because you could be like dominating the match, and then you're like started in an armbar or something stupid,
and they get it faster than you.
Yeah, exactly.
I find it stupid. In ADCC, I think it's more of like a even or like fair rule set, because you are still rewarded like the things you did even during like the no points period, or like your initiations. You're still rewarded those, just like on the piece of paper, and they all count for you still.
Right.
It's just like everything else, like every other rule set's weird.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. So as far as ADCC, you've been competing in ADCC rule set a while now. Do you feel like your competition mindset has become more strategic when it comes to ADCC over time?
Most definitely. I've gone to like even a couple of ADCC camps with like half the refs, and I find that I'm learning a lot more about it, and I'm starting to implement it even while I'm competing there. Because for the like longest time, I knew about the rules and like different strategies I could use, but I wasn't using them in the heat of the moment.
Right.
But now I'm starting to be like, okay, if I get taken down, if I turtle for like a couple of seconds, I can just sit down on my butt and work my way up.
Right.
Or if I'm like on this girl's back and I'm about to fall off, stay there for 3 seconds and I can fall off without any like disadvantages towards me.
Right. And that's hard to do, right? Like in the heat of the moment, to like sit there and almost like think more strategically than just reactive, right?
Because for the longest time, my whole entire style was being like reactive, because I don't watch like any film. I don't really like study anyone like that. And so I was just going out there like just rolling without any thought in my mind. A lot of people say like I flow really well and be like, do you think when you roll? And I'm like, nope, I'm just going. I'm surviving.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
But now you're going out there with a little bit more of like a game plan, it sounds like. Very cool. Okay. Wrapping it up, we'll end with some hot takes. You said you have a list for me.
I came prepared.
Very exciting. Okay.
I did get like really anxious trying to think of this, so I got really prepared.
I love it.
Okay.
No, you're not the first one. People do come with lists, which cracks me up. All right, give us your first one.
Have you had any hot takes over the thing?
Like my own?
Yeah.
Have I? Well, Jasmine and I talked. Oh, I'm trying to think. What did I say?
I did just put you on the spot.
I did. My one hot take was, I believe this was my hot take. I don't think it was Jasmine's. I think I told her this. I'm pretty sure. It was, I don't like when parents coach their kids on the sideline at like at the gym. Well, actually also at competition, but like at the gym, if you're trying to coach and like the parents are like screaming at their kids over the coaches. That was one of my hot takes. Yeah.
All right. I have a couple and all of them were actually pretty good. So I am going to say quite a few of them.
Okay. No, go for it.
Okay.
First one.
First one's going to be, I say this because this happens to me and this is something that I do. People who like sweat profusely. And I'm not saying this in like a mean way. I'm saying this as in I hate this trait about myself. Okay. And so this is a hot take because a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu sweat profusely.
Yes.
Like I'll be trying to be a normal person. Like I'm trying to like go out there and like live my life, trying to like hang out with some friends. And I'm over here just pouring sweat. And I'm like and like armpits closed. I'm like, what's happening? And like,
no, you're so right. And like some of the guys, like, I mean, I think I also sweat. Like I'm not like some girls go out there and like literally their hair looks perfect when they're done. They don't even break a sweat. I'm like, you're an alien. But for me, I think I sweat like average to maybe above average, but some of the guys, like, you don't want to get with them second round because there's absolutely nothing to hold on to.
No, they've been drilling and they're just like soaked, or like, have you ever seen when somebody's standing for like a couple minutes and once they move, there's a puddle?
Yes. His name is Daishi Goto. I have seen it. Sure have. There's like when we used to be at Underground, Jay, it used to be a moat. There was this gym we went to. There was like set off the fire alarm twice. There was no ventilation. It was like kind of a vibe in a way. It was like, oh, like it's so rough and tough because you can't breathe.
Yeah, like there's no air,
no windows that are open, and so it would get like really foggy, humid, and you know, Daishi would just be working hard, and he would stand up, and there would literally be like a moat of water,
and it's murky
water. You don't know what's in there. Yeah, you had to get away. It was something. So. Okay.
I say that one because it is something. It's coming from somebody who like experiences.
I get it.
Okay. Very funny. Let's figure out what I'm gonna do next and how I'm gonna link all of them together. Okay. Half of like quite a few teenage boys in jiu-jitsu are obnoxious, and I'm saying this from a kid's point of view. They think they're the stuff, and they can go out there and win everything, and I'm gonna go out there and beat this, and like they slap the mats and they scream.
Oh, I do hate that.
And I'm like, why?
Yes, not humble.
There's no reason, and most of the time they suck. I'm not even trying to be mean, and it's only half of them, because I've met so many nice boys in jiu-jitsu,
of course,
but half of them suck.
But they act
so obnoxious.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna like build off of that. So I know you're specifically talking about teens, but I'm gonna take it more general.
But they grow up to be worse.
You're right. Like, they grow up to be obnoxious.
They grow up to be men.
You're right. You know what? You're so right. But to make it more general, my hot take is I hate when people obnoxiously celebrate.
Oh yeah.
I hate that. Okay, sometimes fine. You won worlds. Do what you want to do. But it's like Naga. And they are like jumping up and down, slapping the mats, picking their coach up and spiking him on his head. And it's like, bro, you won like your white belt division. Like, calm down.
Or when they win like off a decision and they still do that.
Oh, that too. Yes. And coaches too. Okay. It's not just athletes. There's a lot of people who obnoxiously win. So that's my
like take. There's ways for you to win and like do what you want to do. Like you can throw up like the number one.
Yes.
But there's still ways for you to be respectful about it. Cause like I see some of these like boys and like men and like people all around. Like I've seen some girls do this too. They just like don't shake their opponent's hands. They don't shake anyone's hands. Like the only reason why you were able to like go out here and perform and do this is because of your opponent.
Yes.
There's no reason for you to be treating them like that, and there's no reason for you to be like all up in their face and like screaming and yelling. And the only time I did that was when my opponent sucked. And not sucked from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, from a person standpoint.
Okay.
And hated me and fought terrible and just slapping and collar tying. Yeah. And the only time I did that was because she was so rude. I threw my hands up and I stared at her.
Which actually is still fairly
respectful. Yeah. And I shook her hand, and it's not like I didn't shake her hand. Like you always have to like shake the other person's hand. That's just
okay. Going off of that, how do you feel? Oh, I already know how you feel, but another hot take, and I've seen this a lot. I don't like when people celebrate when their opponent got injured, and they don't like check on the opponent first. Like they immediately celebrate when the win came from an injury.
Yeah, I find that obnoxious too. I find that just rude. And most of the time, if you see me rolling with somebody and they get injured, instead of like standing up, I'll like try sitting down next to them and be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, are you okay?
Because you have empathy.
Yeah. There's like
it's crazy.
Everyone should have a decent amount of empathy. And if you don't, then you're just like, are you a really like respectful person?
Right.
Because it takes empathy to like at least understand and like be like, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Like it takes empathy to be like, I'm sorry, or like, thank you for this, or you were right, like you were right, I was wrong. It takes some level of like empathy to do those certain like basic respectful things.
And when I had Paige Yvette on the podcast a few weeks ago, you know, she made a great point, which is like, you know, you need both people to have a competition. Like you wouldn't be there if your opponent wasn't there. It wouldn't be a big match if both of you were not there. So win or lose, like it really took two, right?
And that it goes the same thing for when you're in the gym. When people can't be respectful to each other in the gym, or when they can't take a loss even when they're in the gym, it's like both you guys are still here. Like that's one of my other hot takes. Okay, link that together perfectly.
There you go. Segue.
People who can't lose in the gym.
Okay, that is annoying.
People who like refuse to let you do anything, and they just have such a big ego. And sometimes it's not even their fault either. Sometimes their parents will be like, you can't lose, or if they do lose, I'll see them like getting yelled at and screamed at even in like the training room, or like their parents are like reprimanding them and taking things away from them, or like grounding them, and then be like, there's no point for that. You're just raising a kid who's gonna be incapable of like expressing himself and ever letting anyone like he's never going to be able to be vulnerable.
Yes, or to take risk. Like you want to be able to take risk in the training room to figure out new skill sets, right? To figure out what you're good at, bad at. And if your only goal is to not lose because you're going to get in trouble, either by your parent or like you're going to be mad at yourself, how do you ever take risk and get better? Like that's a shame. That's where you want to lose, is in the training room. So that is a shame. And I do see that as a coach every once in a while, where the parents are so hard on the poor kid that they're just doing their bread and butter move over and over and over again because they're so scared to lose that match.
That's why I started doing other things like chokes, because I would always do my bread and butter move like an arm bar. I have at least more than 200 matches of me finishing by an arm bar.
Yeah.
And I started like forcing myself out of my shell. My parents were like, if you do an armbar, you have to give us like $5. Like, stop doing armbars.
Your parents are the opposite.
Yeah, like stop.
That's funny. I love that. Yeah, I had AJ on from he owns New Asgard, which is a gym up here in Pennsylvania, and he was saying that sometimes he'll go out and tell himself he's not allowed to do his signature move. And I was like, really? I was like, what if like it's coming down to the wire? And he's like, I don't care. Like he's also, you know, it's not like he's winning money. He's doing it for fun, but he'll tell himself like, no, I'm going out there because I want to try something new and I want to have a good time. Like you just said, I've already hit whatever it is 1,000 times. And he will specifically not allow himself to win by a certain submission. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I've met a lot of people who have taken that route into forcing themselves out of their comfort zone.
Yeah. All right, next hot take.
I think there's only like one or two more if I'm being fair.
It's good. It's good timing.
Okay. Yeah. I do a lot of takedowns, right? I've been to maybe one or two wrestling practice. I used to go like one wrestling practice like every like 2 months. Like an actual, like authentic, just purely wrestling team. I hate the wrestling environment. They're so like, the vibe is just off-putting.
Yes.
And so when you go into a jiu-jitsu gym, there's at least one nice person like trying to talk to you or like showing you or walking you through the moves. But if you go into a wrestling gym, you feel like you're being stared at. And like I'm already self-conscious. Like I'm wearing a t-shirt and joggers. I look weird. Y'all are wearing spats. I didn't think I was supposed to wear a rash guard. Like
or a singlet.
Yeah, I'm coming in here brand new and all you guys are like staring at me. Nobody wants to roll with me.
Yeah.
It's all quiet. And there's like a couple people, and when they're like stretching, they all hang out in groups, and like nobody comes to you.
Wow. Is this for boys and girls? Doesn't matter.
All the wrestling practice I've been to have like, there's boys and girls in there, but like the girls usually pair up with each other, and it's a lot more like serious environment compared to jiu-jitsu. And I don't want to say unwelcoming. They don't mean to be unwelcoming, I assume.
Yeah, it's just like the culture.
It just feels unwelcoming. Yeah, the culture is a lot more serious and stick with the people you know, and don't do this, don't do that.
No outsiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've heard this. I've had a wrestling coach on the podcast, and I've had a couple people who coach wrestling and coach jiu-jitsu. Actually, I think Bruce from Endgame, which is a local gym, we were talking about this, and he was saying that like I think he says things more candidly, but I think he like literally said like wrestling people are some of the worst people he's met. But I think it is just a cultural difference. Like it's like jiu-jitsu people tend to be a little bit more welcoming, a little bit more nice, I guess, and wrestling people are a little bit more serious. So that's interesting.
It's not like I hate wrestling people. I love people who wrestle, and I love all of them. I just hate their environment.
Yes.
Not like them in particular. And I think I said their environment.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was it.
That's your last one?
Yeah.
Awesome. Those were good, very good hot takes. So let's end with what's coming up for you. Anything we should know about besides trials next week?
So far I think trials is the only thing I know about.
Okay.
I don't really get told a lot of things.
How does that work? Like, are you getting phone calls? Like, just do you have like a manager?
No, my dad's like, hey, you're fighting in a week, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay, so any shout outs, any sponsorships you want to shout out?
Yes, Gaidama.
I do love that.
Thank you for that. Gaidama, go follow them. I have no idea if there's a code for my name. If there is, try it. And you might get some money. I might get some money. Who knows? Great.
Thank you so much, Joslyn, for coming on. This was awesome.